This is gonna sound completely crazy. I think this is the biggest mistake you'll ever do. It's gonna be an adventure, definitely. 35,000 euros into one stock. Peace. So the story is quite crazy. I had an accident and I'm fine now. I got a decent amount of money by my insurance and I put that money into stocks. It got more money and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna buy a house for renovation in the Mediterranean Sea now. And here are the pictures of the house right away before the background story. So the day I flew to Crete, a fortune bug landed on me and I found a fortune penny right in Berlin the day before I flew to buy the house. Here it is. You have these nice old stones on the windows and the doors, old vases. Here you see the house and the garden and the fruit trees, the veranda. And this is me with the most fattest smile the day I got the keys to it. There's a lemon tree, pomegranate tree, clementines. I was already eating a lot of these clementines the day I bought the house. They were super nice. I was eating them while surfing. This was actually the first thing that I bought, surfboards. There was a chicken from the neighbor in my garden, and here's how it is from inside. As you can see, it definitely requires nice renovation, but the stones of the wall are very thick, you know, they are already like 1 meter thick, and the ceiling, as you can see here, is already renovated by the seller. And as you can see in this video perfectly, the ceiling is already renovated. The walls of the house are so thick. I was there in the summer, last summer, and it was actually cold inside because it is so well isolated with these thick stones, so they kind of knew what they were doing before. And what is actually a problem, that it does not have water already, but the real estate agent is helping me right now with all the paperwork and everything, so I'm gonna get that. You have the nice fireplace that I'm really looking forward to. This is the village. You have the ocean, some nice pictures of Crete, cactus figs, some sweet cats. And now you get the background story if you're interested in it. So first of all, I can never advise someone to do it as I did. It was really risky, it worked out, I'm so happy it worked out, but it could have gone the complete other way around. Since I'm very young, I wanted to move to a warmer country. I'm from Germany, I'm living in Berlin, you know, summer is nice, winter's not nice. And then when I was 20, I decided, okay, why don't I just do it? So I moved to Crete. I was living there for 2 years, but then because of COVID, I was coming back. Ever since, I was kind of dreaming, I want to live there, I really want to live there. But somehow didn't really seem so possible. But then all of a sudden, a really crazy thing happened. And I had an accident. I'm fine now, won't go too much into detail about that. But, you know, I was living that life, like, you know, always kind of no money on the bank account. When you're in the supermarket, even sometimes my card didn't work, so I had to put the groceries back. It's like, sorry guys, doesn't work. And then one day, I was checking my bank account and I had like 12,000 euros on it. I was like, okay, must be some mistake. Maybe it's €1.20, but even that, I was like, whoa, okay, 12,000 euros, what the f*** is happening, you know, for people who don't grow up rich, it's like, what the f***. And then I got this letter from this insurance that said kind of like, yeah, okay, we have already kind of a lot of information, so we don't want to go this long and detailed way, so we just decided that we calculated it like this and you get 12,000 euros. And I was like, a bit sketchy if your insurance writes it like that. I said no. The insurance was sending me to a doctor that kind of proved everything and what's happening and what happened and everything. So then I started to check houses on my phone on Crete, and I saw this one house and it went from like 60,000 to 55,000 to 50,000. I was like, what's happening here? What's happening here? So I was calling the estate agent. He was like, yeah, this guy, he really wants to sell this house, you know. But I didn't have the money already. Then at one point it was at 40,000, and kind of like 1 week later or something, I got 40,000 in total. It's like, wow, this is a coincidence. This house seems like it belongs to me. But then there was like 5,000 euros more in fees for taxes, contract signing, real estate agent. And I was like, okay, you know, it can't be impossible because of this 5,000, you know. So I was asking everyone in my family, and no one could help me. Just one person could have helped me, and he said, I would even give you that money, but I think this is the biggest mistake you'll ever do. So I can't support this. Not gonna name who it was. So there was no possibility. Then I tried to get a loan, and even that didn't work because my income versus rent outcomes was not enough. So I tried everything for 2 weeks. I tried every little thing, but I could not get these last 5,000. Then I was like, okay, it just doesn't work. Then I put 35,000 euros into one stock, and the next day, believe it or not, after taxes, I was 4,000 and plus. The next day, 4,000 and plus. Then I was like calling the real estate agent. Okay, I have the money now. I want this house. Let's do it. So I was flying to Crete. I had just the right amount of money that I couldn't even rent an Airbnb or anything. So I was sleeping in this little Fiat Punto or whatever it was by the beach. And this real estate agent was someday asking me like, hey Leon, where do you actually sleep? And I was like, I'm sleeping in this little Fiat Punto, you know. And then he was so sweet. He's really a good heart. And so he said, yeah, okay, for this night you can live in my penthouse Airbnb. And I had to study for university even, you know. And it was such a luxury after sleeping in this little car. I could convince my family to support me with this project a bit. I saved some money. I have 10,000 euros now in my account. It sounds like a lot, but for renovation it isn't. So this is definitely going to be a low budget project. There's one wall that I really want to just break because it separates the house in two different parts. You have to go out of the door, you know, into another door. It doesn't make sense. I want this wall to be away. This is going to be the first thing I'm going to do. I need to get water tubes. The real estate agent is doing electricity and water for me right now, the official things, so that I can have the access. The garden already has a groundwater well, so that's quite nice. I mean, some important things like electricity, I will need someone who helps me. I will need someone who does the water tubes. But apart from that, I kind of do almost everything by myself. Here you see some stuff that I already did. In our old flat in Berlin, I was renovating the whole floor. I was kind of on the ground substance of the house. And I did that all by myself already, so I'm quite handy with that. Not wanting to draw, but that's a skill that I have. So I'm looking forward to do that. The language, I don't have a lot of money. It is going to be quite hot there. All the paperworks in another country is going to be really hard. So it's definitely not going to be easy. And it's going to be chaotic, I think. I won't even have a bath in the beginning. Won't even be able to shower, you know. I love to shower every day in the morning. But the first thing I know I would need is a car. Because if I don't have a car, there's no way that I could do any of this renovation. What kind of car do I need? I need a car that is not perfectly beautiful from outside, that is technically very good. It is in the mountains. I will need, you know, substances to carry up, stones, earth, everything. So the car must be strong enough for that. I would want to sleep in that car sometimes if I go, you know, traveling to different parts of the island. I would want my surfboards to be on top of that. So stay tuned for the next videos. It's gonna be chaos, probably. I think the outcome, hopefully with the help of God, is gonna be very nice. It's gonna be an adventure, definitely. See this as a little diary, you know. I will do vlogs also when I travel. I will go to Athens to get the car, take the ferry to Crete, go to the tool shop, buy all the tools, you know. So I think it's gonna be super fun, super nice adventure, and would be nice if you want to join.